Hello everyone, hope you all are fine. Already we have completed discussions on the chapters, the last chapter that was there, that is atomic structure, and I have given the revision test question as well. So you all have seen the revision test question and you all have understood now how the types of question that basically comes from this chapter. And now our half yearly portion is done because we have done the exercise as well. Now today we will be discussing bit on the periodic table because in the live interaction class some of you are telling me that there was a doubt regarding the periodic table, valency, identification and all. So today what I have planned that let's discuss about the periodic table once again as a recapitulation because this is the thing that you all are reading for the first time. Maybe there is a certain doubt or confusion regarding the periodic table that is given in your book and that you see everywhere. So just want to make it clear to you all, and you all keep on telling me that which part you need me to repeat again or to discuss again. In our half yearly part we have 3 chapters. So all these 3 chapters we have done the revision test, unit test was there for on those 2 chapters, and now here also we have completed. So as all the topics are completed, so if you want me to repeat any topic once again, you can tell me. I'll be trying my best to do so. So today let us start the revision on the periodic table. The periodic table that is given in your book is perfectly okay. Now many of you are telling that here some groups are missing. Why some groups are missing? Because this is a simplified way. The publishers or the book writer, author, they have given the periodic table in a most simplified manner so that you understand. As you all are class 7 students, you all are just giving the first step towards the knowing of periodic table. Just you have an introduction towards the world of periodic table. That's why they have made it turned into a simplified form. In a better way, if I want to explain that in our syllabus, as I have already told you, we have first 20 elements. So first 20 elements means from hydrogen, starting from hydrogen we have till calcium. That means we have hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, then sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, sodium and potassium and calcium. So these are the first 20 elements that have in your syllabus. These 20 elements are present in group 1 and 2, and from after that 13 to 18. That means group 3 to 12, this particular part is not there in our syllabus. Better to say the elements which are present from group 3 to 12 that are not there in our syllabus. So as that part is completely omitted, it's removed from our syllabus. That is why, so that you don't face much confusion, they have just omitted that part and then they have presented. If you compare with the periodic table that you see in internet or in the posters, you will find those elements are only present in group 1, 2 and 13 to 18 if you leave 3 to 12. That's all. It's not different. That is the first thing, doubt you all had. Second doubt regarding the valency, I have got one more question in the mail. That one question is there, that what is the valency of an element which belongs to group 15. Now group 15, nitrogen is there in group 15. I know phosphorus is also there in the group 15. So one send me this doubt or send me this question that as nitrogen has multiple valencies, then why not to write any number, or phosphorus show both PCl3, PCl5, so I can write 3 and 5 both. But remember, group 15 consists of nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. All these 5 elements are present. Everybody's nature is unique. They are having certain similarity, but there are differences as well. So I suggest that which is common to everyone, answer to that. Because they have not asked you what is the valency of the nitrogen or what is the valency of the first element of the group 15 or second element of the group 15. As mentioning of the position or mentioning of the element is not given clearly. So my suggestion is that whichever number is common, whichever valency is in general true for all the elements, better to go for it, and which is easy to remember also. So as I say that if I use the old notation, that is 1a, 2a, 3a, 4, 3a, then we have 4a, 5a and so on. So elements which are in the group 1a, for them valency is 1. Which are in the group 2a, the valency is 2. Which are in the group 3a, 3a means 13. 3a, the valency is 3. Which are in the 4a, that is 14, the valency is 4. Now up to this 1a, 2a, 3a, 4a, valency is 1, 2, 3, 4. Or group 1, 2, 13, 14, valency is 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively. Once you are stepping to group 15, that is 5a, start deducting the group number from 8 if you are considering 5a, 6a, 7a, or from 18 if you are considering 15, 16, 17. That means if an element is in group 5a, its valency will be 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. Or if it is there in group 5a, if you are considered 15 if you are considering, then 18 minus 15, that is 3. So the valency is 3. So if an element is in 5a, valency is 3. If the element is in 6a, valency 2. If it is in 7a, then valency 1. And if it is in group 0 or group 18, then valency is 0, as noble gases generally do not take part in the reactions. So we will consider its valency as 0. Am I clear? Now one more question that is given in your exercise, that one element is present in group 5a, another element is present suppose in group 2a. Then what will be the formula between these two elements? This type of one question is given in your book. So for answering this question, always first you start, as in maths is you start, let the element be x, let the element be y. Similarly you start here as well. You start with let the element be x. For suppose it is given in group 2a, so let the element, the symbol of the element belongs to group 2a is x, and let the element belongs to group 15 is y. So the question, if you have copy, write down the question, write the formula of the compound formed between the elements present in group 2a and in group 5a. So if the element which is present in group 2a is x, so as we know, the group 2a means valency will be 2. So the valency of x is 2. And let the element in group 15 be y. So the valency of the element y which is present in group 15 is 3. So now you have got the two element symbol x and y and the valency 2 and 3. Now you can frame the formula by this cross method. You write top of the x2, top of the y3, then cross it, then the formula it will be x3, y2. Is as simple as that. So always try to solve stepwise. Okay. Next day, in the next class, I'll discuss you certain mistakes that we do during chemistry examination, or how to go about this formulas thing, because some of you are telling that you all are facing problem while memorizing the formulas. So I can give you certain tips. I have already said you regarding that. Then also I'll recapitulate point wise certain tips and tricks how to go with the formulas or how to remember with the formulas. Okay, so this is the way you should solve these kinds of valency based problem. I hope now it's clear to you all. If not, again you tell me in the live class. If I get time to explain, I will be doing that. And also from the chapters which we have already completed, if you want me to repeat once again, I am telling, you can tell me that also, I'll be repeating. So now I hope it is clear to you all. And in the periodic table, the elements which are in the left side, your left hand side of the periodic table, they are called the metals, and which are there at the right, your right hand side of the periodic table, that will be the non-metal. Basically, we remember in this way. That means if you are metals, and if you all, I think you all know about metals and non-metals. Metals are generally solid at room temperature. They are generally lustrous, shining. They have those tensile strength. They have malleability, ductility. Non-metals are generally gases and liquids. Some are solid. So metals and non-metals, they combine to form different salts. So in a period, suppose we are talking about period 3, we are starting with sodium, magnesium, aluminium, they are metal. Then silicon shows some properties of both metals and non-metals, they are metalloid. Then phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, these kinds of elements are there which are non-metals. And the noble gases. So this type of question also can be asked, that give example of a metal from period 3 or give example of the noble gas. what is the noble gas present in a period 2, because there is only one noble gas in every period. Clear? So you just focus on first 20 elements. Do not go beyond first 20 element at this stage, because this is the first stage. Now I know many of you are interested to know about more elements, like one of you interested to know about radioactive elements. Do study on that, but first make sure you are okay with the first 20 elements or not, because you have plenty of time to know about them. You have next class also, you can read certain extra thing, but it is always advisable go for extra thing when you have completed the thing which is there in your syllabus. And once again, go to cisc.org, and in that particular in councils, whichever particular syllabus is mentioned, your examination will be based on those topics only. Extra also, if I am telling something, sometimes you all had certain doubts, and because of that I need to tell extra also. If I am doing that, but that only for your discussion purposes, not for your examination purposes. So I hope it's done now. Next day I will discuss some points or how to memorize or how to go with these formulas. But take care and see you in the next class. Till then, bye.